Hey, good morning. Little meditation Monday here, little MM. Maybe it's meditative Monday. It's Monday in any case, and I've just got these ideas waking me up. Here we go. Ready for today? It's Chronos and Kairos, but I've got some sidekicks here, and they're not even sidekicks. Ready? The mathematician and the magician. Chronos being the mathematician, Kairos being the magician. This is not the first time it's come across, but I think it's better or stronger or more understandable than just the overarching word Kairos. I still think that can be the overarching word, or it is the overarching word or idea or theme, but the balance of Chronos and Kairos gives it its power. Because if I suppose, if Kairos is magic and Chronos is math, take a guess how many people want to hear about which one, right? So here's kind of my question. I'm very much into titles and book titles and names and things, of course, having worked how many years in the naming industry. And so here, if the title is just Kairos, and of course most people don't know what that is, if it's Chronos and Kairos, and I'm also curious about the order there, Chronos and Kairos, or is it Kairos and Chronos, or do I add the descriptors, Chronos and Kairos, the mathematician and the magician, or no the, Chronos and Kairos, mathematician and magician? Or do I need the word time in there? Chronos time and Kairos time? Or just Chronos and Kairos time? Or the other way around, Kairos and Chronos, the magician and the mathematician? I honestly don't have a strong preference at this moment, other than the alphabetical. I would put C before K. But I don't know. For me, kind of rolls off the tongue more as Chronos and Kairos. Kairos and Chronos. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think Kairos is the more important word, because Kairos is the goal, at least in my humble opinion. The magician, I think magic, people are more intrigued by magic than math. And if you look at it the other way, it's a little bit like play and work. And this would be fun that I find more metaphors or analogies or relations or relationships between the two, and how they could also be seen. Also this morning, during my meditation, I was working with a friend last week, and I showed her the energy trajectory and frequency. And I completely realized that these words are a bit out there and we don't use them. I mean, trajectory, definitely not unless you work at NASA. You're talking about a rocket ship trajectory, which is actually what I'm going for. And then frequency, I mean, I don't know, radio company, right? So radio waves, or the frequency of the noise music, I don't know. Anyway, I love these words. I'm a little bit too in love with them, but I'd like to keep them. And so this morning I saw car map speed. Remember, I like my single words. I like my single ideas and trying to get those across. Car map speed. The one I'm not so clear about is that first one, car. Because if it's energy, car seems like a vehicle. And, is it the gasoline? Is it the engine? Or we could forget the car altogether and have it be a person, right? Like you map speed. But those are a little different. So person map speed, you see where I'm going, right? So I'd like to have these more clear ideas, clear visuals of what we're talking about. But already car map speed, that's so much easier to understand than energy trajectory and frequency. But it must be the linguist in me that loves the bigger, fancier words, I also see them as much more brandable. Like if I had 3 books called Car, Map, and Speed, I just don't see it happening. Whereas energy, trajectory, and frequency, like, whoa, what is that? Is intriguing. With the overarching series being Chronos and Kairos. So another conversation I was having with another friend, and she was saying how she's like, wow, I've just been sort of deep into the spiritual over the weekend, and I've got to get back into the work. So how do I label those, of course? Magic and math, with spiritual being the magic and work being the math. And this is exactly how I see it and how I want to see it. And this is really the crux, the foundation of these books. And this is the balance between these two ideas, and whether it be spiritual and work, or sort of spiritual and the regular, or, yeah, you can see where I'm going. And if you see in wavelengths or frequencies, as I tend to do, then you might see there that the magic is a higher frequency, where the waves are sort of bigger, or taller at least, and the mundane or the mathematical or the work is more the lower frequency existence, or existence sounds so like survival. Well, it's still a little bit survive and thrive is how I could also see these. So, survive sounds so desperate. I don't mean that, really. I don't mean survival. I don't mean that it's desperate, but it's more of that. So, that her question is really the foundation of this whole thing as well. It's how to find the balance between the spiritual and the work, right? Because we have to work. We can't, believe me, I've done a 10-day, I also have to say, I don't like when people say, believe me. But I've done a 10-day silent meditation retreat. And one of the takeaways for me was, I don't need to do a 10-day meditation retreat. In other words, I don't need my life to be 100% spiritual. In fact, it was kind of nutty. And another thing I had during that 10-day silent meditation retreat was that you weren't allowed to create anything or write or even speak or even look another person in the eyes. And that was brutal. I'll have to tell you this story. I don't know if I've publicly shared that story so much about what happened to me on day 7, but I'll leave that for another time. Speaking of time, oh good, there's my time. I'm at 8 minutes. It is a Meditation Monday, and this is exactly, I am walking the talk right here. I did my meditation this morning, and now, so that's my Kairos, and now I'm going to go do some Chronos. I'm going to go work through this. I'm going to write about it. I'm exactly what I'm doing now. Right now I'm talking it through, and that is my Chronos helping to translate, if you will, my Kairos. So Kairos is the magic being the meditation and the downloads and the clarity of what I got. And what do I get? I get stuff like the words, Chronos and Kairos, and I get work and spirit, and I get magic and math, and I get the mathematician and the magician. And so the Chronos part is to work through these big ideas, these magical ideas, and get them into understandable, digestible terms or words or language that people can understand, and not just understand, but work with and use and make their lives and their balance better. Okay, that's my time. I see my clock and I've got to go. It's Meditation Monday. I'm kind of liking these things. I'm on day 28 of a juice fast, and I hate to say it, but I love to say it. I'm loving it. Bye for now.